Is that we had to go and read books, go visit places, and learn for yourself so you could teach your kids. Because in this society, you can't expect somebody to liberate you. You have to liberate yourself.
If we apply ourselves to this as our time, we might see ourselves represented and as representations of our own names, of our own styles, birthed by our own cultures. We artisans, we entrepreneurs, we craftsmen, we Renaissance in our own right. By right, we ought to see ourselves on these blocks, these same blocks where we also made more square, and by building.
Because those individuals, they had a safe space. They had a place where they could have those conversations and be be more, but they could do it in that space. But until it was shined, like, oh, there's a continuity here. Wait, what's going on? Hey, I remember. And then you have someone that just is the catalyst for that conversation, and then sticks with it.
It started out with an idea that I had. Going to Laverne after leaving graduating and with having children and got into life, we still had the burning desire to do something positive, for the community. So we started an African American bookstore right down the street, actually, and but one of my professors came to me. It must have been like 20 years after I graduated, and he said, you know what, you need to start an African American university. And I thought about it, and I said, that's a good idea, but I didn't know what the hell I was gonna do, I didn't do that, but he stuck with me and helped me do some formative things. We haven't reached that point yet, but I have, the vision is still there. So we had an opportunity to do an exhibit for the community. Prior to that, we would go sell books, and we would take an exhibit on the road to different fairs, and then talk about different artifacts that we had just had. And so then we got an opportunity to put up a 3-month exhibit where we're at now. And so we got little tables, elementary school tables, and put it all around the perimeter, and our friends got together, our families and things like it, and brought stuff, and we just put it out there, and it was wonderful. It was marvelous. Had a grand opening, and then the mayor said, we need to keep this here. This is really good. And so here we are, 11 years later, and it's become a very vital addition to the community, and now we have you all to come and to be a part of the different things that we're doing. And we're a part of the Alliance, which, this is what this is, good as it gets. Is we're on the path. I see a lot of change that is happening because of, but just with my life, I see that I have people that are guiding me and helping me do my thing as I help and share with them and give them my energy. So I'm looking at this as we're in the dire straits right now, but we're still in the game.
Because we realized that we were teaching our kids stuff, and that they would go to school, and other people's children, you know, like kids would come to my house, and then, you know, you'd have to end up teaching other people's kids, you know, stuff about themselves, making them feel good about themselves. And that's one of the things that we always try to do. And we used to, since everybody was educators, I tried to, one time we had this school museum. It was through the PTA. My sister and I and another lady, because you know you can do stuff through the PTA that you can't do through regular school.
Yeah, PTA.
And so what we did is that we decided that we were going to do this museum for Black History Month. And we used like lots of art that we had at home. We did a lot of reading, you know, like we did the doll thing. You guys know about the dolls? The doll, the pretty doll. It's an old experiment. It is a very old experiment. I had a picture of Nelson Mandela. Every place we went, I asked everybody, can you guys tell me who this person is? Guess how many people knew? 0, because it was in the 90s. It was in the early 90s. Nobody knew who Nelson Mandela was. Nobody.
The NAACP was established first here back in the 50s. And the current president was given a binder of newspaper articles that dated back to that period. And matter of fact, she just lives 2 doors from us. My wife and I, we live in a senior apartment building. And so it came across me and I said, well, can I have a copy? So she made my own book. And so I sat and I read every article. 50 pages with little, you know, bits of information. And this church kept coming up, Mount Zion Baptist Church. And I actually, as a kid, was baptized in that church with some of my siblings. And so then I looked at the year that it was built, and I was already working in conjunction with the Historical Society here in Pomona, by this being my hometown. We were talking, I wanted to document the Black experience here. So we were talking about that, okay? And then this book came across me, and then I was already there with them, and I mentioned to them, and they said, well, we can come over and look at the building to see architecturally if it can qualify to be historical. So Jennifer Williams, she came over, she looked at it, she said, Carrie, yes. One key thing are the windows. If a historical building has authentic windows, that says so much. If those windows had been changed out, guess what? It may not have qualified architecture, right? And so it has 2 qualifications. One for architecture, and another one getting back to those newspaper articles about the NAACP holding most of their meetings in that building. So that gave it cultural significance. And working with the city, Aaliyah, do you know Aaliyah?
Yes,
But anyway, her last name is kind of a tough one to pronounce sometimes. But and then COVID hit, right? And so I'm just thinking, man, this is going to shut down or whatever. But she worked through the COVID, going deeper into the information that I supplied. And so it had to get voted through 2 organizations, the city council, and then the historical, because you're on the historical commission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a historic preservation commission.
Right.
So it has to be presented to us first, and then based on that reference, it can go to the city council.
Yeah, because the city council voted unanimously, went through, you guys voted unanimously, then went back to the city council. Everybody said yes. And so, here we are today. And the project is still not finished.
I went to look up some information on a tragedy that occurred in Los Angeles some 30, 40 years ago, and it was gone. There was a building in downtown Los Angeles that they lowered one of the beams on and went all the way through the floor, and it killed some of the workers, and some of the workers got buried in it. And I was looking for the information because I remember, and I could see a picture of the building, but there was nothing. There was no conversation about it, no nothing. And because I know they never recovered the bodies because they were so far under the ground, the way the building was built up, and it would, I guess, reality cost too much. But you can't find that. So when you do run across information, I remember I was in law school and there was an article in the newspaper about the Navy, because the naval station was up north in San Francisco, had dropped something over the city over this weekend. And I remember everybody got sick that weekend. Do you know what I mean? With colds and things like that. And I know I'm not crazy. I know I read it, but you can't go back and necessarily find it. So when you find bits of information, I collect information. I have a trunk with certain things and facts because I want people to be able to go back and say, oh yeah, this really did happen. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of history, a lot of truth is buried. You know?
Whole community came. Everybody gave him a name. His grandparents were there. Those were the kind of things that we did as a community. That's why I was so happy when I heard Elma was going to be here. I was like, ooh, we. Ooh, we. Now, as far as the community, you guys know we have the African American Museum. I'm one of the co-founders. Her husband's one of the founders too. When I talk about that's a community museum and we say it's not ours, that's why. Because everybody played a part in it. When you go in there, everything in there, somebody brought it. When we first started, they were playing old school music and they were, putting it together. We were on small tables, but it came because of Elma and her sister Gloria. When she told you about that, what they did at Palomares Park, that was, whenever we talk about it, when you read about it in law, we generally always try to make people know that it came because of these two sisters who started something here in Pomona. So that kind of shows you how the community worked together.
We could have moved away too, but we chose to stay. And I like the fact that when people needed to come to talk to him, that he was there and he was available for them, and we were there and they knew where to come to see Mr. Rock, so they would come there to see him.
Living in South Pomona, and being able to walk to work, and my children able to walk to school. I went to work one morning, and my son walked basically across the street to the middle school. By the time I got to my room, I had a friend call me that works at that school and say, you know what? I saw your son walking, he walked past the school. I know you're laughing because you know what I'm talking about. But he walked past the school, and I know you want to know. So, that's community. I was able to take care of it. You know what they call it, the term nip it in the bud? So that's my illustration on community, and that's why I live in that community, because that's, you have the love of your neighbors and everybody. You may not talk to them a lot, but they look out for you and you look out for them, and it sure worked at that time.
Like I said, I came here to Pomona in '88, and I was trying to get away from all of the things and the noise of LA to look for a quiet spot, because I felt that it would be better for raising my child.
Using this, your heart, what's in here, what excites you? What makes you excited about going after something? those are the things. When you find your passion, you can go anywhere from there.
And friendships count. They sure do. Absolutely. Friendships count.
Yeah, so the dialogue has to be this. Oh my goodness.
People buy into capitalism.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
They
Yes.
buy
Yes.
into capitalism. That's all there is to it.
That's all there is to this.
That's all there is to this.
Late stage integration that's going on.
Yeah, it's like capitalism is constantly evolving. That's why you tend not to get along with older people very well.
So you prejudged that?
I did. I wanted to like bring that up though because I think the reason why I prejudge is because, well, like I said, I already articulated the reason why I prejudge. And I think it's important to bring that up because that's exactly how you disabuse people of misconceptions that they can hold for a very long time, right?
So do
Like,
you feel more comfortable?
yeah. Like I think that we have like a lot more similarities than I
my
thought.
God.
And I think like,
Oh my God.
yeah,